That's Centrica's Sambhi. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, good news. First of all, congratulations. What comes after this? How much investment will you have to plow into this?
Well, before we start actually putting wind farms into the seabed, there's a lot of prep work to do in terms of surveys to understand the environmental impact, the impact on commercial operations like shipping, to determine the best sites to actually place those wind turbines. That's going to take a few years, and after those surveys, only then can we make the investment decision, and only then can we determine how much investment's actually required.
How much, first of all? I mean, I know Copenhagen, you know, there was a lot of build-up and a lot of hope for that. So if we just put everything into context, here for the UK, how much power will come from wind energy in the next couple of years?
Well, in the UK, we're very lucky because the wind resource is absolutely huge. And to put it in context, the zones that have been awarded today, if we only developed half of the potential of the zones that have been awarded, we could produce up to 40% of the UK's electricity needs from wind. So that gives you an idea of the scale of round 3, which is 10 times the size of the previous award, round 2.
There's so much potential out there. What technologies are you looking at the moment to make this possible?
So today we've got 2 operating wind farms in the Wash, and we're just starting to build another wind farm, the Links project, which is 270 megawatts. And the technology we'll use in the first projects in this new zone award is probably similar, but in the future the turbines will be bigger and hopefully they'll be cheaper as we learn more and the manufacturing costs come down.
What kind of costs are we looking at? For example, in the Irish Sea, do you have an earmarked amount that you will have to spend to get that running?
Well, we don't have an earmarked amount in terms of spend today, but what we can say is the potential in the Irish Sea is about 4 gigawatts. And based on today's costs, if we built out all 4 gigawatts, it would need an investment of the order of £8 billion. And that's why the industry as a whole needs to attract sources of investment from different areas, project finance and investment from new classes like infrastructure funds.
And subsidies as well. Now, you say, of course, you have to now do the research, the impact on the environment. When will you actually be ready to start building some of these turbines?
So I think from the Irish Sea, the first year that we would expect to be producing power would be around 2017, perhaps a little bit earlier than that.
In terms of the most exciting area in which you're building this, is there anything that particularly stands out? Well,
for us, the Irish Sea is an important win because of its proximity to the shore, its relative water depth relative to the other zones that have been awarded, and indeed the synergies that we can exploit with our other operations, our gas operations in the Irish Sea.
When the time comes to build these, will you be looking at partners?
Yeah, we believe that the right model for offshore wind in the UK is building these in partnership. And again, this is why just before the end of last year, we announced that we were introducing 2 partners into our latest offshore wind development, recognizing that we need to seek sources of capital from a variety of funds.
Sarwar, thank you so much for joining us today.